So I'm going to start out with reading an old poem called From the Beach. Sea voices, freighter on the horizon, freighter on the horizon. A bench. A girl lifts her wings, standing on a ledge. The next gust takes her into the ocean, her dress billowing. It's overcast. The beach is sleepy. We disappear. Down, a straight long path, misted, in, far. My hair, your hair, in your mouth, in my mouth, your eyes, darkening, the sun, sand and salt. Thank you. Cheers. Okay, great fun. It's all yours. Yes.
Good afternoon, good people. Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Third Saturday Poetry in Chinatown. We have two wonderful features this afternoon. We have Karen Poppy and we have Tony Aldarondo. They will provide us. They both brought books, so there'll be books you can purchase. I will read the first few open mic readings, and I guess we can probably do about 5 minutes or so, thereabouts, 4 or 5 minutes. We'll start with Sally Love Saunders, and then Howard Jennings Jr., Jack Melander, Robert Rubino. These are the first 4. So, Sally Love Saunders.
I like having every time it's sitting in the same seat. Feels good. The same seat. Okay. You're going to have to tell me when 5 minutes is gone, because you have to tell me, all right? Don't trust me this stuff. Okay. Okay, my happiness place is, and these are poems that I've written since I was last here. I make myself an echo binder, and it goes Clarion, August. Then I'll go home, and I'll have Clarion, September, and I'll read you what I've written since today. It inspires me. My happiness place is right here on stage at Clarion. Standing here looking at you, I feel as though standing on a very green grass. And your claps make me want to sing out my poems to you. Sing it! Thank you. It's been a while since I heard a bee buzz. Or seen a fly. Here back in nature, there's a bee and a fly waiting for me. Showing off their buzzing skills, I love to watch weeds dance like skinny-legged ballet dancers. The weeds dance in harmony with the breeze. Fog with long teeth. Chopping up Golden Gate Bridge and swallowing the bridge, bit by bit, swallowing the bridge. enjoying just doing nothing and enjoying nothing at all. Weak positive thinking, positive muscles. I try and think positive, try to force my eyes to what is good and shut my eyes to what is bad. I try. My energy leveler determines focusing ability, how to strengthen positive thinking muscles, how to do mental thinking muscles, sleeping when weak, enhancing awake time, making best energy time, thinking and planning time. This morning I spilled water all over my new poems. And last night I overreacted to 2 people. There's a trigger toddler in me that runs a fast-paced bulldozer inside me, but still, I am me. Even though I spilled water this morning. No cell reception. No cell reception means reception of my own thoughts. Feels like to be in meditation. Feels like to be in meditation here in the Redwood Grove. Silence all around, and more silence after silence. My pen and pad stand erect to receive my poems. I wrote this at Botanical Gardens in the Redwood Grove there. Wonderful place for inspiration. All my growing up years, my mother told me to pipe down. Hold your horses. Now I'm 83, enjoying not holding my horses and not piping down and not lowering my voice. What? A brilliant interior decorator must have planned carefully the pattern of shade and colors here in the interior of the redwoods. Breezes are communicating to me as if braille, tapping gently on my skin, giving me many eyes of welcoming here. A brilliant interior decorator. Enjoy sitting. Enjoy sitting and letting the waves do all the work. The waves run to me, then retreat. They run to me, checking in to see if I'm okay. When they see I'm okay writing poetry, they quickly go as not to disturb me, but soon return or send their children to simply check in on me. Oh yeah, you bet. I love these pens. Thank you. Thank you. How do I do that?
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Next up, we have Howard coming up, but I just want to mention that when you read, you get to select one of these pens. There are gel pens and metallic and neon. I don't know the difference, but anyway, you get to take a pen. And also, one reminder: if cell phones used or turn down the volume or whatever you need to do so it doesn't disturb the poetry. And I check my sure so I'm not the one. So anyway, Howard is up next.
I got one. Can I share?
Sure, absolutely.
My name is Howard Jennings. I'm going to do 2 pieces. One from friend of mine, Charles Blackwell, a blues piece, and another from a piece I'm been working on in March, on November 6th and November 20th. That's called Black and Somebody Two Scenes. We would travel from Rossville to Harlem to Fillmore, Chinatown, the Law, and Ridgefield. Chris, black coffee, cake fry, maybe get on a melody, cold drink, or mom, meals. So we invent our own conversation to the sounds of donuts, bopping, over lonesome, losing beef buckets, models, and espresso. The elevators take us to the D-top. You question day, the blues questions tonight. You say, who's jazz? Or who's Bill Jackson? You sad. You ain't got soul. The beat becomes another quarter note on outside the drive. Adding a new time. Or sequence, a 4 to 4, 2 to 2, before we travel. Walk in the cool to the beat of a different drum. Step light. No fries, no freeze, no barking sisters, or hungry hounds. No bullet crazy brothers, no props to fit, no craft to shoot, no cops, and no gas heads, and no job. So step light, no screaming babies in the cold, and no broke down elevators to take our notes. No Cadillacs on empty, or Buicks even to ride. Instead, we some boppers, bop where long goes, to walk and walk, to low, become a philosophy of cool and groove. So speak to me, Daddy-O, as in blues me, baby, as in blues me down.
Woo! Woo!
My name is Howard, and I'm no coward. I'm faster than the Flash. I'm stronger than Superman. I'm the chief, the man with the master plan. God first, every day. The devil's not gonna get his way today. God, thank you for the day. Go, USA, go, USA. Check for the free world, greatest country in the world. I see in my eyes and the eyes don't lie. You don't hear me? I'm the chief. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm better than Muhammad Ali. Fighting for his rights to do what he do and to say what he said. I'm the greatest. Fighting for your rights to do what you do, say what you say, all day and every day. I'm the chief. Cream rises to the top like a Michael Jordan winning shot or a lone people stepping curve. Shimmy if you want to, they bragging it's the truth. It's time me to move on and bow out. Before I go, let me give a shout out to my kids. Howard Jr., Karen D., Gregory D., and Pamela D. No D's or F's, just A's, because they on top like their pops. Chief is out.
Howard Jennings, all right, thank you. All right. Next up we have Jack Melander. And following Jack will be Robert Rubino.
Hard act to follow.
By the way, the door is somewhat open because the air conditioning is not working as well. So we're going to get some outside noises, so please speak up and make yourself heard.
This is called No Word for It. There's a paradigm of friendship between females named sisterhood. There's a paradigm of friendship between males named brotherhood. The paradigm of friendship, everything up to but not including sex, between people of opposite sexes is a siblinghood unnamed, but let's call X. The shattered man may win sympathy from an unaccountably friendly woman, feel her reviving his cadaver piecemeal, feel her magnetize selectively the fragments of him no more posthumous, which recalling prior composition, commenced reconjugation now anew, undevastated and rejuvenated. What present could be general or more tender? What surprise could nullify such grief? What sweeter gift in life might some girl render who may withhold frustrated desires free? Remember how she loved you as a human, who cannot be your lover as a woman. Return her love in kind, which sound like human. Flirt up some other babe, and watch your grooming. That ISIS girl who caused your resurrection deserves your love to verge upon true sex with all guys who have new life through her selection, experience, enhancement of their excellence. One more, it's called a soft integer for a hard scientist. Noontime, up and down the street, people passing who don't meet, but to the eyes of any one of whom does not the sultry sun suggest the figure of most fun? It's the number of girls, less the ones departing business field, plus new ones on the street scene revealed at each successive moment. Yes, then multiplied by all the boys at that same time the walker sees. This product represents the joys, all this strolls, possibilities of bliss, this very value of, so why not factor in yourself? Yet wait, did we think to subtract all pairs of whom either ought last of his or majority, or so that they vowed to be, had lapsed into senility, or else was someone else's spouse, or wasn't jealousy far gone, or didn't put the other on, or wasn't well, but let's not rouse. It's still so great, this journey some, the chance for couplings and menages, as to smite jealousy's God's dumb, and Cupid moved to shoot barrages. None knows what you, master fantastic, these neighborhoods are orgiastic.
Our next poet will be Robert Rubino.
I have two short pieces. First one is called The Unwoke Wizard of Oz. Gotta think Dorothy is a way more savvy young teenager than that gullible golly gee whiz goody two shoes or goody two ruby slippers wide-eyed wonderment role paternalistically imposed upon her. Gotta think the wildly cackling wicked witch of the West shines as the most intriguing character in the Oz drama. And that the so-called good witch, nothing but a sweet-toothed decaying bore. Repetition of there's no place like home sounds more like keep Dorothy in her place brainwashing rather than a comforting mantra, since home offers no parents and a drab farm as depressing as the Depression. It's all a dream anyway, seriously? After all that huffing and puffing and singing and dancing? After all those menacing monkeys flying around? Is there a lazier way for Hollywood to revise or wreck the original story? Gotta think it's Tinseltown misogyny telling Dorothy, in fact insisting, she didn't have the most amazing adventure of her young lifetime. That it's all in her head, her adolescent female hyperactive hormonal head. Gotta think it's pure sexist condescension to tell Dorothy she's neither heroic nor resourceful, and her story, her claims, too fanciful to be believed. She's not to be believed, and she ought to get used to it. And let's pay closer attention to that wise-ass wizard behind the curtain, exposed as a gift of gab grifter with a philosophy as flimsy as flim-flam. It would be poetic justice to stick him in a hot air balloon bound for colorless Kansas. This last piece is called Bootstraps. Next time some self-described, self-made, self-righteous individual asserts their having pulled themselves up by their bootstraps without fear nor favor, all by their strong-willed selves, through dint of nothing but their own smarts and sweat-stained work ethic, demand to know, or politely inquire, where did these bootstraps come from? Were they a gift? Inherited? Stolen? Did someone else make them and someone else simply sell them to you? If you made the bootstraps yourself, who taught you how to do it? Did you take a bootstrap making class at a community college? Did you view a how-to YouTube video? Who made the video? Did you slaughter an animal to make genuine leather bootstraps? Did you then personally engage in the leather making? Who taught you how to make leather? Did you dispose of the leather making waste responsibly? Not much point to bootstraps without the boots, so where did your boots come from? Remind us again, what exactly have you done solo? Exactly.
We'll do maybe one more before we do our first feature. So, Joanna. Sorry to put you on the spot. But then we'll have our first feature, first of our two features.
Hello. Hello. My name's Johanna Ely, and I'm from Benicia. I'm going to read 3 poems for August. The first one is called Floating. It is August, the turning of a season. I float in a space between no longer and not yet. Crimson dragonflies hover and hum above a pond, sip again and again from a water lily's cup, as if the petals will never close. Giant monarchs flit and flutter, play tag in cloudless blue, as if the sky will never end. Amber leaves that once were stars, suspended and glowing between heaven and earth, drift in the afternoon breeze, as if they will never fall. This second poem is called Hydrangeas in Late August. The hydrangea flowers, once deep pink and blue in spring, find themselves at summer's end, fading into muted shades, their petals thinned to brittle skin, tinged with brown and gray. A woman cuts the long, stiff stalks, carefully arranging the dried flowers in a Chinese vase. I am both the flowers and the woman. I am what remains. This last one is just titled August. Here is the end of summer, the green heron's solitary stance as he preens on a rock uncovered at low tide. How the geese circle and honk in gray light over gray water. Your fingers stained red from blackberry bushes, juice the same color as autumn leaves. Every August, the geese with their same melancholy call, and the blackberries so sweet. Chris, I'm picking the difficult one, right?
And I'm sorry, Johanna. Not
Yes, Johanna.
You get your purple one.
No, I got a green one.
All right. Now. All right. two features of the afternoon. The non-binary poet, Karen Poppy's debut full-length poetry collection, Diving at the Lip of the Water, is published by Beltway Editions 2023. Her chapbooks, Crack Open Emergency 2020, and Our Own Beautiful Brutality 2021. Got them all here. All right. And that's those are published by Finishing Line Press. Her chapbook, Every Possible Thing. Every Possible Thing. All right. All right, that's published by Homestead Lighthouse Press 2020. An attorney licensed in California and Texas, Karen Poppy lives in San Francisco Bay Area. Please welcome to the stage, Karen Poppy.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I came out with most of my books during and right after the pandemic. Not maybe the wisest move, but I'm sure happy that we are able to be here in person now. The first poem I'll read is a bit of a long one. It's called Badass Mermaid. It is no night to drown in, Lorelei, by Sylvia Plath. Blood whirls within, whirl of ear, ocean sound. You profound and under deep, hobgoblin, hobbling, hobbling there, before I sleep. I in your realm, a siren not yet, but sobbing. You moving murk, darkness, spies lurk. In winter, I tumbled there, accidentally. I sang within the sea, fathomed I had privacy. Your ears, they bled with my song. Homer's Odysseus told it wrong, or his men told it innocent. Their ears waxed sealed against all sound. I, innocent too, innocently fell asleep. Dry ice packed in snow that does not freeze, leagues and leagues deep, countless. Before that or after, I don't remember, and probably pointless, I used your shampoo. It was Brex. Smiled and combed my hair. Your rage silvered and glinted on your teeth and eye. No matter, soon, back home, spring, somehow I didn't care. I slept until I woke. Chrysalis cracked on sea floor. I, a mermaid with wings. Lorelei, butterfly, a terrible glistening. Beauty can be frightening. I did not know myself, knowing all I could know. My mind, a mantle ripped off like a sheet at night, became great. One vast I. Then I could write like a seer, everything and everywhere, a messenger. I do not drown, badass mermaid, I breathe water, I breathe air, I derange. Pitched roofs, pitched reefs, I say your name, write your nightmare. Dive back under, scaled with your fear. My tail smacks down, flash lightning, ear-rending thunder. Irritated clam creates the pearl in turn creates me. Then I create, write, surrender, open a universe, land and sea. This poem first came out in my first chapbook, Crack Open Emergency, and it's in this book, Diving at the Lip of the Water, too. In case of emergency. The poetic voice has invisible instructions. Crack open in case of emergency. We avoid the shards, but some cuts are necessary, for we were close to the pain, closer than anybody. I'm ashamed of my own miseries, the shame of survival, of some death inside. Still my words flare, wet from my throat. Oysters on the beach, a little bit of a love poem here. Salted raw and delicious, oysters on the beach, ocean air, the way I see you, the way I want to kiss you, bring you into harvest. Your hair whips in the wind, your knees draw up and you pose. There's so much you make me feel. Water swirls below, wilds itself on rocks. I step back as if you were a photograph, withdraw from you, your soft, open delicacy. I was going to read something heavy, but I think I'll go for uplifting instead. And I put a timer on, but how am I doing on time?
You're doing good.
All right. New roots. Soft leaves so small cluster on newly naked stems. Let water bathe and crust each vulnerability. Let sun breathe on them. Growth will come. Don't let this slowness burden you. You've decided it's time. That's enough for now. Don't watch for every sign. We draw our own connections. A bounty of light rushes in. Darkness, too, allows it to happen. No visible taproot, revelations come where we're most open. Roots will form again in their own time. Trust nature's agenda. Now that you've helped it surely along, you can only force so much. What we find. See this morning a flattened pewter, hard and uncompromising. Waves frozen, unmoving. Beach combed of all shells, pebbles. A barren wasteland of sand, driftwood scorched and scarred by now dead fires. Off in the distance, a whale exhales long-held breath, reaches, dives back under, the only thing that can break these strong waters into wakes of surrender, the only thing that can sing its unique song, the unique song that each of us sings, not on the surface, not in the light, but there in the deep, there in the darkness, to find our direction, our own voice, each other, to sing uniquely, but not alone. Eerie electricity, connection. Through the song, everything is the right choice. And, speaking of song, yesterday something released. It's titled 40 at 40. It's a CD by the soprano who is a Grammy-nominated soprano, Laura Stripling. 40 and then the @40 in case you want to look it up. She is amazing, and one of the songs on there is a poem of mine, Prometheus's Monster, set to music by a very talented and amazing composer, Myron Silverstein. So I'm very excited. And I'm really grateful we were all thinking about bootstraps because of the last poet read the poem about bootstraps, and it's true, none of us goes through any of life alone. We all rely on each other. I have a wonderful poetry mentor named Robert McDowell, and he is the head of Homestead Lighthouse Press, who put out my chapbook, Every Possible Thing, that includes the poem Prometheus's Monster, the one that was set to music and is on the CD. Anyway, this poem is dedicated for Robert. In that place, each point sings alive on his fiery amber fur, the fox waiting there in pines, oxblood heat, autumn perfection, meditation a single beam upon outcrop of rock. He nestles in needles, rises and resettles on his muscled haunches, eyes lock, yours and the fox's. You wish to stand still, forever yield where time launches its impeccable flow like a river, stirs you to think of everything you see, unwinding in the light, a murmur dissolving into meaning. Then the fox says, let this make you what you are. This last poem, it's for me and it's for all of you. I want everybody to be able to feel this way. My true life on this earth. I claw open my own existence. Earth greens miss with my naturalness. No one is crying. Joy is heaving away of gender, unweighted breath, the only binary. In and out, as we all breathe. This is how I want everyone to feel. Exactly alive, I am what I always wanted.
You're done? We still have time.
You want me to do more?
Oh, you still have time.
Okay.
We still got a few minutes. Whatever.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even check. I just thought, okay. Let's see if I do. I have some more time.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, never mind. I'm back for
Yeah.
I currently have 7 more minutes, and that's a lucky number. Okay. Womb. This is the first poem in the collection. Interior sister, liminal, as in moving toward change. Liminal, as in close to, imperceptible. Close to, as within you. Tender hive, she nested in you, grew thick-walled and large. In her next existence, she will emerge and soar. She will live as a bird, carrying and dispersing seed. She will live as a field of flowers. Bees will dust their legs with her pollen, dance. Remember her scent. Bring her back to their hive. Bring her home to herself. All right, I guess since I have time, I'll read the title poem. It's it's a longer one. Diving at the lip of the water. For Rachel. I am the ball at the lip of the water. You'll recognize this as Judy Grahn. I am the ball at the lip of the water. I am the rock that refused to be battered. I am the dike in the matter, the other. I am the ball with the womanly swagger. I am the dragon, the dangerous dagger. I am the bull dike, the bull dagger. From She Who by Judy Grahn at the beginning of chapter 6 of her book, Another Mother Tongue, about the linguistic history of the word bull dyke, which has a couple of spellings, B-U-L-L-D-Y-K-E and B-U-L-L-D-I-K-E. And this is from the website Fascinating Africa. The common diker, spelled D-U-I-K-E-R, a small antelope, the name is clearly pronounced diker, uses a pair of glands under its eyes for scent markings with a tarry secretion. Dikers run with a distinctive darting and diving style when they flee danger. This gives rise to its common name, which is Afrikaans for diver. Here's my poem. Between trees, within edges of forests, woodlands, among open clearings, with scent markings below eyes, we label another our own. This is how we bull dikers do it. We males secrete a substance, deftly labeling, marking with our tarry, leaf-scented names, our territories, calves, mates. When we run, we dive at the lip of the water, be it a field, a deep forest, a body. We do this from love or fear, which you understand. For you and I mark in the same way. Humans cover with other scents, afraid of labels or driving into them, each marking energy, power. Labels we give ourselves, labels we use to mark another. Some names change in meaning, mutate over time. Original markers lost. Some we mistake in origin. Bull diker, a male antelope. Never the origin of bull dyke. We cull meaning from sound just as our eyes tell us what we see. We feel an energy, a power. You misread her by mistake or by design. We can only guess at origin of bull dyke and bull dagger, Roman times, Harlem Renaissance, novels, women singing the blues, dig within erasure and resistance. I like the blues best, the song written and sung by Bessie Jackson, pseudonym of Lucille Bogan, explicit and raw, prophetic, dirty blues. Peel back the layers and here it is, lay of the land. Women can be whatever they choose. Come in a time, BD, women ain't gonna need no men. Here's a quote from Judy Grahn again. Bull dyke is the kind of word most women hope to avoid all their lives, for few things are more horrifying to be called, end quote. But these women hold the dagger, surrounded by hostile bulls, sometimes surrounded by women afraid of difference, sometimes by people who insist she must be a man. We can reclaim the name used on a woman like a whip. We can reclaim our own swagger. Our swagger can be womanly. Our swagger can mark our love. So says my lover who loves me body and soul. There must be space for everyone, for women who swagger, for all women. Don't say she isn't lesbian because she loves me. There must be space for her, for me, queer, never quite within borders, between, on edges, in the open. I want to make that clear. Embrace and don't isolate us. Surround us with love, define us, mark us by our love for each other. I love a woman, but my gender bleeds beyond labels and markings, no matter what I'm called and what you call me. No matter what I call myself, I am marked. I bleed monthly. I've been attacked with thrown stones, called a dyke. I swagger womanly, and I love a woman, but I am not one. I swagger and I shift. We have to love each other. Those on either side of gender binary, those who transform, transgress, and those who stay hidden in heavy cover. Also, and there's my timer. Thank you. I'll get it. I'm not used to hearing it here. Usually I use it for the pool. And then I can't hear it because I'm underwater. Okay. We have to love each other, those on either side of gender binary, those who transform, transgress, and those who stay hidden in heavy cover. Also, those like me who don't fit evenly, who shift and move without gender and within sexuality. Some things, especially hate, can mark you. They have marked me. Call me what you will. I love you as I do, unconditionally. I will love my lover, knowing her beauty shakes the earth, comes from another place, full of energy, power. The sleek diker dives in escaping run, zigzags like my lover's tongue, but my lover is not afraid. My body a safe field, a sheltering forest. She cleanses me, recitations of sacred ash, this beautiful burning, a pooled release. When I cry, I'm hers and I am her. She holds me. There lived a warrior queen named Boudica, Buldyke or Buldyka. In a last stand with warrior daughters, Boudica burned Londinium, now modern London, to the ground. She led a vast uprising when Romans invaded to destroy her people. What happens if we erase her name? What happens to our own markings of energy, power? Let her be named. Let us dive the lip of the water into love and fearless. Let us mark each other with freedom like bold Boudica at the helm of the chariot, horses charging. No one holding the reins.
We have one more minute for Karen. All right, let's see. Next up, let's see. Next readers will be Sarah Menifee, David Forbes, Anna Burke, and Brian Egdorf. So Sarah Menifee.
I love this third Saturday. Look forward to it. Thank you, Greg and Clara, for making this happen. This beautiful space on this beautiful day. So I'm just going to read a few really short recent things untitled. Excuse me. I step along the ocean floor where mountains have drowned, my head above the gold-shot clouds, moving through the evening lava. How tiny I am, flowing through cosmic gratitude. Bury my ashes in the mud and say she was back that day. I won out of here, yelled the crazy man in the golden ruins. To wake up to someone singing who'd been heartbroken. They won't pay me for kibitzing or for laughing at your jokes or telling mine badly. There's no retirement check for being an unloaded old sad sack. Alas, alas. This is for my friend Forbes, and in gratitude for the wonderful lychee sake we had today, and the plum wine. Yes, dear Forbes, may we live in sweet lychee land, the tender nuts between our teeth, so gently. That's all we demand. Oh, look at this. Oh, to add to my collection. Oh, look at how right.
David Forbes is up next.
Sarah and I. Sarah and I, though Bruce Lee I cannot be, who died when he was 33. Did you hear that, Shasta, again?
He's too tall.
Oh, wow. This first one's called Sarah and I. Though a Bruce Lee I cannot be, who died when he was 33. For we are Riff and we are Raph, we are Mutt and we are Jeff. And we walk aloft and pick up sticks and stuff. We find dine in at All-Star Donuts. We find shoes and things in the Salvation Army store. And we do poems and shop for garlic. We are here and we are there, and on 38 Geary, a faculty for the criminally insane on wheels. We pop into Kaiser for our pressing restroom needs, and titter downtown at the blue-suited, brown-shoed clowns. Sometimes we look for the eyelust at the highly improbable. So we do not murmur a lot, as life can be quite something interesting. And I cannot mind too much not being Bruce Lee, who would this year have turned 83. Cherry pie and suicide. This is called Cherry Pie and Suicide. Fetch me my long cloak, for this blustery night do I fly to the lone beach, to the wind and the cold waves, there to join my beloved newly brown. Though on the other hand, I may just stay here, fireside, and eat cherry pie, maybe even alameda. For life in the day. He stood quite still in the sunlit kitchen, not knowing if to stay in or go out, to call someone or not, write, paint, to do almost anything, walk, something. Then he stood in the living room, not knowing if to sit down or not, look out of the window, take a shower, eat, lay on the carpet.
He stood in the hall and in the bathroom. Then he stood in the bedroom, looking at the wardrobe and drawers. Dusk and the street lights came on, and he stood quite still in the dark. So called Blood on Words. As a child, I heard that blood was thicker than words. So I opened my hand, and the black blood ran out on the page and covered the words. So that proved blood was thicker than words. Then I had to go and get 4 stitches and see the psychological lady. But that was all right, so I got an ice cream to pick afterwards, which is the main thing. My grandpa said, "That is water, you silly child, not words." I was busy concentrating on eating my ice cream. What is, I might well have said. Revolutionary poetry. Last night I mixed up to read my poems at the League of Revolutionaries for a New America. I said, "No, I don't think so." Sarah whispered, "Well, read the one about the gizzards." So I read the one about the gizzards, and then there was a long general discussion on gizzards and giblets, and on chopped liver and hearts, and other edible offal. And then we all went home.
Wonderful. Next up, we have Anna Burke, followed by Brian Egdorf. Anna Burke.
These are 2 things that I wrote at the beginning, like right at the kind of pre-height of summer this year. Okay. Gave way. Standing at once in a loved summer room by a capacious bin of false clover, studied they are like favorites in a womb. Those unmoved butterflies hold me over. In a sturdy work blouse, I carry my plan. It's hard when one, to explain to you. Among good-mannered green to purple green, someone, you, tends them that they're fresh with you. My lovely friends, I am your summer room. I'm here, we want the same of you. My friend of some time, see the sigil soon. There's overt aim, sits prayerful and acute. The stems are long, but they're not getting any longer. My verse was taught, but he wasn't a taught verse monger. And this one's called Her Husband's Shirts, and I was thinking as I was finishing up, sometimes when you're in the course of working on a poem or a story, ever so often you find yourself like needing to learn more about something, so you're on like a little research tear on something. And sometimes that's fun, and sometimes it's frustrating because you can't quite find what you're looking for, but either way, it was a cool part of this process, and I just thought I'd share that. Her husband's shirts. The mom is in the kitchen of her own accord. Each sibling intuits her being in there by the window, able to eye the small back garden and its sturdy shed. What the mother is doing is softly humming, ambient with lilts, like a Gouldian finch might do. The scene that each thing she sings to is the small back garden and its sturdy shed.
It is the steamy hiss of the iron that she is humming with. Mama Page, pretty singer Mama Page, is singing to her husband's white shirts. And believe, if you please would, it's a splendid moment of her day. It is a crucial time.
Thank you. All right, next up we have Brian Egdorf. Brian.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yes? Oh, I hear myself. So this is, I'm just going to read one poem. It's a little long. Not that long, but longer than usual. It's called The Plateau. I wrote it, I spent the summer in Georgia, the country. And I wrote this poem on the scariest bus ride of my life as I was looking out the window at the most beautiful scenery I could ever imagine. It's kind of near the Turkish-Armenian border, so if you've never been to Georgia, you must go. So The Plateau. An outward kind of blue, so below, low there and I'm riding a hill. There's simplicity in none at all. Rupture with the land, grab the half you see, surround the flat parts, mind them. This lull buys you time, and graze you will. Spill under, you're far from sanitized. You're sprinting and sweating, hotter, redder, and gently you'll lay up top. Shrink down, there's no down here, so spread wide on this flat earth of ours. Just turning, and now we're all flat, and this hill widens. Address the parts you must, legs and arms come first. A split feeling in your body worsens, drives bad behavior, so I'll bend at that side, and you will too. Angular but soft ends, my joints cradle all your sides and more. Dry your other half. I've moved these parts half-heartedly. I'm done squeezing my stomach, draining all my sides. The flat quickens me, blurs any kind of end. There's no more suffocating at this end of the earth, not even an attempt. I'm at ease that way. No rolling edge, no downward spiral here. Granular dirt, rocks are heavenly. Feel no smooth side. Rule none, blast nothing. I'm no king of this land, no serious person, no splurge here, but you drive, hold the land hard. You have courage, blindly, missing half, but moving readily, silly man. So I hold your arm, I feel the veins, and I walk rudely, messy all across this place of no end. Pressing your flesh in my fingers, deep to the tissue, past all the skin. I hit the bone, trip up myself, but I move I do, and hold I will all across this dirty place, this dry half. You're pulling, and I pull all this way too. I'm dragging, I've dragged, and this, my man of all men, is how I move. Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you. All right. Before we bring our next feature up, I think I will throw a couple of poems in here real quick of my own. This one is entitled Bird in August Light. A quiet bird hides on a branch among late summer leaves, not quite within my sight, until a passing breeze blows its cover, camouflage aside. fluttering wings like thick eyelashes wink at me, disguised through the last rays of August light. We go back and forth, peekaboo, tag it's you, then hide and seek, but I already know who's hiding behind that green leaf screen. A bird silently perched on a branch that's partially seen, beak pointing to setting sky, concealed within the summer tree, though not from me, for I can see him hidden in August light. One more. Is this mic on?
Yes.
We're on Earth. All around today's world, it seems, we're seeing phenomena we've never seen. Weather's become the latest global terrorists, when rain drops hard and fast as bullets, hailing on communities without impunity. As fires and century-high heat melt the tar on the road, time to kill the fossils, ditch the plastics, clean the green. As record cold blows freezing drifts of ice and snow, time to shrink your footprint, select electric, step off the gas. As we drown in floods of climate change and hurricanes, can we find a way to live within the rays of a divine glow? Is it too late to escape this morass that traps us so? Is there anywhere left on earth that's safe to go? Now we're going to our next feature of the afternoon. Tony Aldarondo has performed music and poetry in venues throughout the San Francisco Bay Area, overseas, and once while standing up on a JetBlue airline flight. He's also an actor and voiceover artist. Tony's the author of 2 books, Big Heart Poet, here, and also We Are Poets, his latest, and they're both of them on HummingWord Press. And everybody, welcome Tony Aldarondo.
Thank you so much. Is it on?
No.
No.
You want to start? Yeah. So you can sing it. You can raise it up. I said I'm a poet. I'm a poet on the run. The law says I'm armed and dangerous. They say my poetry's like a gun. Sometimes it just don't work. That's okay. But good. That's the effect I have, y'all. All right. So I'm all over the map. But tonight, my map begins and ends right here in beautiful Chinatown. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. I will begin from this book of poetry here with the book title. This is called We Are Poets. And this is dedicated to all the poets in the house. We are poets. We're at the Clarion in San Francisco. We're not that hard to find. We'll massage your temples, touch your hearts, and tantalize your mind. We are poets. We can take pretty words, put them in a poem, and plant a mental seed. Or we can take shitty words when we're filled with rage, put them on a page and make it bleed. We are poets. We can put words together describing an aroma and make you think that page was scented. We are poets. The reason the exclamation point was invented. We write, recite, and perform. We never ever conform. It's the way we poets know. Damn well we were born. Pushed out, performing, and crying since birth. Our hearts already broken and torn. But we as poets, we can take pieces of broken words and turn them into spoken words and give a broken heart a fresh new start. Take a young child's broken dreams and mend them with spoken seams. We are poets, blessed and filled with words. We create with words, relate with words, transform and relocate hearts and minds with words. We are poets. We say things like 5 times 5 divided by pi equal the number of rainbow stars in the sky, and have you ask, why? We are poets. It's simple mathematics times dramatics factored into a poetical third eye. And the answer in the back of your mind's book is even simpler. We are poets. Ay, ay, ay. Love making, keyboard breaking, erotic poets. We can make a pen, make love to paper, and make it hum. Make words intoxicate your mind like a strong Puerto Rican rum. We are poets, filled with laughter, tears, joy, imagination, and patience. We speak at the open mic at presidential inaugurations. From our hearts, the words flow. Through our tongues, mouths, and lips, those words magically know where to go. In our heads, the poets of the dead are awoken. We speak from our hearts with the voices of the broken. We are poets. This much we know. We give birth to words, touch Mother Earth through words. And then open mics, open our mouths, and pour out our hearts through words. We write, then rewrite, then double check the last rewrite, because we know the last rewrite is the one that has to be right. We are poets. We share our breath with words, and we will write and recite till our death with words, because we are poets. Thank you. This one's called Heroes. I speak in simple language. Local poets are my heroes. The art exhibition of the dead in my head of Picasso's, Frida Kahlo's, and Nero's. I've got the spirits of dead poets in my head. When I close my eyes, I see them. Like last night, they sold out an open mic at the Oakland Coliseum. Miguel Piñero tocando los cueros, Piri Tomás reciting verses, Frida Kahlo pintando, Frida Kahlo on stage. With her colores, her love disperses. With her colores, her love disperses. I've got James Brown and Prince living on the funky graveyard side of my mind, where the smell of funk is in the air and the music's not hard to find. Where James Brown and Prince don't give a damn that they're constantly on rewind. Played over and over and over again until they blow my mind. Until they blow my mind. I've got Langston Hughes and William Shakespeare living on the dead poet side of my mind, where the pens and quills float in the air and the spell of ink's not hard to find. Where Langston and Shakespeare don't give a damn that they're constantly on rewind. Read over and over and over again until they blow my mind. Until they blow my mind. Thank you. This next one is called Church of a Poem. I baptized myself in Bacardi last night before I put a pen in my hand. and realized it's been quite some time since I stepped deep inside the church of a poem. And I'll tell you, that baptism Bacardi had me feeling some kind of way. I felt like I was balancing on a high wire while flipping words with infinite syllables like pancakes, swinging on a flying trapeze. Oh, it's been quite some time since I've stepped deep inside the church of a poem, and there are days and nights I never want to leave. What I've seen inside my mind's ring last night were two writing wrestlers discussing with love their opposite sides of the spectrum with pride. Inside my gray matter, where I don't hide the fact that for some time things didn't really matter. But I baptized myself last night in Bacardi before I put a pen in my hand and realized that it's been quite some time since I stepped deep inside the church of a poem, where praises go up and blessings come down, and sometimes sacred verbs can get twisted and burn sacred nouns to the ground. Now as I write, I smell the Palo Santo burn and remind myself for the last time, and it's been quite some time since I've stepped deep inside the church of a poem. Thank you. Who am I? Who are you? Do I know me? Do you know you? Do any of us even really want to know, or are we just afraid? Afraid of the truth. Some say the truth can really hurt, others say the truth will set you free. Whatever that means. Who am I? Am I the weak father who walked out on his wife, gave up on life, looked his little girl in the eye and said, goodbye? Who am I? Am I the bastard, delinquent child my mama couldn't handle? The good boy gone bad, the bad man gone mad, a strung out dope fiend in a rush to reach the pearly gate? Am I Catholic, Baptist, gay, or am I straight? Who am I? Will I find out too late? Am I your santero, conguero, a Taino chief, or just some Puerto Rican spick filled with grief? Am I high? Am I low? Or just some guy you call bro? Yeah, yo! As if I was John Doe. I have a name too, you know. Who am I? Where am I to go? Am I a part of the new status quo, the new revelation? And what shall be my occupation? Who am I? Can anyone save me? Or if I reach out my hands for help, will you just enslave me? Who am I? Thank you. I want what I cannot have. I want what I cannot see. I want the whole wide world and eternity. I want to run wild and be free. Don't want no one bothering me. I want a ticket on a JetBlue plane. I want to listen to breakup music without feeling pain. I want every man, woman, and child suffering from a mental health illness to please stop being called insane. I want to know how homelessness could exist in a rich-ass city like this, where most people live every day like it's a second Christmas. I want back my old neighborhood. I want back my youth. I want to be angry. That's the truth. I want some justice. I want no lies. I want no funerals. I want no cries. I want all men to experience the blind. I want them to see that beauty's in the mind. I want back the memory the police beat out of me August the 14th of 1993. I want back those memories. I want back that knowledge. They beat me so bad I had to drop out of college. I want to know who, what, where, why, and when the good life begins and the hood life ends. I want to know. Thank you. Our new poem is called In My Words. I want you to feel the concern in my words. They yearn in my words. Feel my grandmother's antique urn in my words. I want you to feel the dead zone in my words. The all alone in my words. Feel the bare knuckle bat down to the bone in my words. I want you to hear the silver and gold in my voice. The young and old in my voice. Hear my grandmother's ghost story still untold in my voice. I want you to see the dark place where I'm at. Why I sing through a ghost and wear a dead poet's hat. I want you to read the Ouija board on my tongue that says, dig up and try the slave masters who ordered slaves to be hung. I want you to escape your traps in my words, find the secret maps in my words, then come away with me, like Nora Jones in my words. I want you to see on me where a hex marks the spot by my ex who should rot. While forward my name reads Tony and backwards it reads, why not? See, I was born with this mouth with words to be said and sung. A breech baby who was born with a backbone in his tongue. I want you to hear the folklore in my voice. Open the door in my voice. See why my words must be heard and why I have no choice. I want you to see what I saw in my words. The no border lines, the burning walls in my words. The red wall, the De Gaulle, the film noir in my words. I want you to see how I burnt my left foot while my tongue's always on fire and my throat filled with soot. I want you to feel my hummingbird beak, hear my double entendre and my triple speak. See my past due date and know that I'm an antique. I want you to read your tarot cards in my eyes, then turn them over 3 times and kiss the dead butterflies. I want you to hear the black cat in my voice, the Bacardi bat in my voice, then meet the snake from the state that drove a stake in my voice. I want you to take a ride in the black hearse in my words, feel the curse in my words, and know this ain't no play, there's no rehearse in my words. I want you to see the real me in my words, the infinity in my words, meet the shipwrecked sailor that is me in my words. See why I'm seldom left alone to be alone in my words and why pretty metaphors don't want a home in my words. Oh, I want you to know I'm not alone in my words. When you hear my poetry, there's 7 ghosts in my words. I'm the rooster, the dead crow, the dead hen in my words. I even write at midnight with a feathered pen in my words. And I invite you to join me in a toast in my words as I give thanks from coast to coast to those 7 ghosts in my words. Salud. Supreme Court. I called the Supreme Court yesterday morning on the phone. I said, women's body, women's choice, leave women the hell alone. I did this for 90 days until last night I broke my phone. Tonight I'll begin to email in all caps, leave them alone. And tonight, if my old computer should freeze or my cheap internet go down, I'll spray paint it on my city hall wall in the middle of my town. I'll spray paint it on my city hall wall in the middle of my town. Women's body, women's choice, leave women the hell alone. Thank you.
Thank you.
The weekends. On the weekends, I study the magic letters hidden in the words that create vast metaphoric fields that give birth to poetic constellations. Constellations born of my teardrops that fall wet to the page from this sad dad-faced clown, creating camouflage smeared intentions, which, to be honest, was not my intention. Make no mistake. Today I birthed a book of poetry, baby poems drenched on a sopping wet page with running ink in all its glory, stretched itself on the page like a wet umbilical cord. Now it's time to give them birth. Let them breathe and read those poems with all my might right here at the Clarion tonight. Thank you. do this one that's called, Latinos! Latinos are the colors of the rainbow. I said the rainbow, yo. Latinos are blanquito, negrito, trigueñito, and afro. Afrolistic, realistic, simplistic, always mystic, always real. Really real, sometimes too real. Always told we love to steal. So some Latinos become violent. So violent, we grow violent, and almost everyone we know is violent. Others become angered. So angry and angered, some have become endangered. Or misinformed, uninformed, and uniformed into the penitentiary, right into the next century. Others misinformed, uninformed, and uniformed into the war, turned into Uncle Sam's whore. Latinos, I can't take it no more. I said the U.S. military. Well, we're first on the front lines, first to die, then we have to bury. Have you seen how many Latino soldiers are in your national cemetery? We're used in the U.S., abused in the U.S., confused in the U.S., and told we are less in the U.S. Come on, system, confess. We've been infected, rejected, corrected, and almost never elected, yet always selected to clean, 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 clean those pissed on urinals and shitty stalls. We are the Latina nannies that wipe their out of the president's grandchildren's drawers, then kiss his ass to cut his grass for a visa pass. Latinos are runaway slaves, immigrant slaves, modern day slaves with eyes open wide and no place to hide. Latinos risk their lives to reach the U.S. and can't come inside. Latinos are young men and women who serve this country with pride. We're here, there, and everywhere. Tall, short, bald, even Indio looking with long hair. We rock the baggy pants, love music and dance, and we're born to romance. Latinos can become what we dream if given a chance. Nosotros somos músico and a whole lot more. Like Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award winner Rita Moreno, and Gran Combo, Willie Colon, and Mr. Hector Lavoe. Latinos are stars, sports stars, movie stars, and superstars like Celia Cruz. Latinos influence people around the world like Orquesta de la Luz. Latinos are united farm workers, teachers, preachers, activists, poets, Borinquen, Puerto Rican, New Yorker poets like Willie Perdomo, Pedro Pietri, Avacha y Miguel Piñero. Y nacimos fuerte hasta la muerte como los macheteros. Somos doctores y profesores de colores y ingenieros, gente como Clemente de los mejores peloteros. Somos jíbaros de la montaña y nacimos otros salseros. Ay, mi isla Borinquen, cómo yo te quiero. Te llamas Puerto Rico, pero no hay mucho dinero. Te amo, te amo, te amo y me encanta. Y en el nombre de Dios y poesía, Latino se levanta. Thank you.
All right. All right. Wow. Really enjoyed our presentation this afternoon. Okay, we've got quite a few people left, and everybody's going to get in. I just want to say a quick thanks to all the people who are here to support the poets who are not writers, or maybe they're not sharing, but they're just here to listen, and thank you all for coming out. Our next poets are going to be Elizabeth Bailey, Sam Morse, Alan Harris, who will be featured next month, and Kevin Landucci.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin Landucci. All right, so we have Lisbeth, Sam, Alan, and then Kevin. Lisbeth.
It's not working.
Speak really close
Do I have
to it.
to shout?
Check.
Okay, that's far. Just one. I'm going to read it twice. It's called Two. Too soon a today arrives, marking 2 years since Jack died. I look into my memory and easily stoke the fire of gratitude for the mentor I miss. Tomorrow, loss will still be conjoined with these poems, a dyad of glow and poems. Teeming with spirit, I embrace this road with all that matters, doubly determined to walk to the heart of the poem. Too soon a today arrives, marking 2 years since Jack died. I look into my memory and easily stoke the fire of gratitude for the mentor I miss. Tomorrow, loss will still be conjoined with these poems, a dyad of glow and poems. Teeming with spirit, I embrace this road with all that matters, doubly determined to walk to the heart of the poem.
Sam's next, and then Alan.
You always want to have this microphone right down below your chin, and then it works. Don't get that noise, little information. I'll do this here poem. Being we have all the fires in Hawaii and everything. Love in the middle of hell. Her child nursing from a breast of gray, ashes falling from her hair. So much gone, so much love hanging on. Love is more than things, tears falling from her eyes, a smile on her face, a child of love at her breast, a new dream for tomorrow. All right, Robert here, Robert? He had to put money in the parking meter, and that must be $1 million here. So, I started thinking about meter a little bit, and there's also the meter in a poem. And sometimes it's one way, and sometimes it's another way, according to what it is. As my friend Tony knows, I'm a blues person, and when I do a blues song, it has one meter, and if I do it as a poem, it has another meter. So this one here goes like this. I took Katie down, but she's not home today. If you get a chance, pray for old Katie May. The angels are looking from up above. They'd like to see sweet Katie, because she's so filled with love. The devil's tugging from down below, but the Lord up above don't let sweet Katie go. If you get a chance, pray for old Katie May. Otherwise, she'll spend the whole time lying there in the grave. Now, that was originally written as a blues song. And when you write a blues song, it has a different meter. You usually read the first line twice, and then you go into the rhyme. And this is so there's room for the music to play between, and so that you can understand the rhyme clearly. And that's why they do it in the blues. And so it would be like this. she's not home today. Ooh, I took it down, but she's not home today. Lord, if you get a chance, woo, pray for old Kitty May. Where the angels are looking, Lord, from up above. Where the angels are looking, Lord, from up above. May I like to see sweet Kitty, cause she's so filled with love. Where that dear old tugging, Lord, from down below. Yeah, that dear old tugging, Lord, from down below. But the Lord up above don't want to let sweet Kitty go. If you get a chance, pray for old Kitty May. Ooh, if you get a chance, pray for Kitty May. Otherwise, it's been a long time lying there in the grave. That's the difference in me. Man.
Verbal. All right. And next up we have Ellen Harris, who will be our feature next month, one of our two features, along with Shadab. And after Ellen, we have Kevin Landucci and then Brand Winans. So Mr. Harris, please take the stage and give them a sample of what they'll be getting next month.
I'm going to be reading two pieces. Feel free to applaud after each one. Little early. I dwell in the lower echelons of the human experience, an honorary eunuch who has daily disagreements with reality and who can't shake the feeling that he should go to more funerals, forming tentative relationships with very old souls who spend their days giggling into a void, sometimes scarily upbeat, sometimes acceptably detached, sometimes contentiously agreeable. I want only to swim in a vertical ocean and to unionize all of the losers. Instead, I plunge headlong into the nightmarish minutiae of sanctimonious traffic jams and holy day ruthlessness and exuberantly Pavlovian stick figures and smirking millionaires who brag about how the only two organizations they belong to are their church and the NRA. I race past these shit-colored street signs and down the roadkill-infested highways of America, marveling at the folksy bumper sticker wisdom of phrases like, "Guns make people more polite," and "I will not dial 911," and "Save a cow, eat a vegetarian." Stopping for sustenance at well-scrubbed strip malls filled with neo-Puritans who are all jacked up on right-wing pornography and to whom I can feel slightly superior because at least my porn is fact-based. Awash in coverage of Watergate and Bridgegate and Russiagate and abuse of the filibuster gate and voter suppression gate and climate change denial gate and income inequality gate and religious hypocrisy gate and not letting the first African-American president appoint a Supreme Court justice gate and Trumpgate 1 and Trumpgate 2 and Trumpgate 3 and Trumpgate 4 and Trumpgate 5 and Trumpgate 6 through 10. The chemotherapy patient on the next gurney over, turns to me and says, "Wow, really makes you think, doesn't it?" And I say, "What?" And he says, "Cancer really gives you pause, doesn't it? Really makes you put everything into perspective, doesn't it? Really makes you realize what's important, doesn't it?" And I say, "Yeah, I suppose." And he says, "Really makes you realize how short life is, doesn't it? Really makes you just want to stop and smell the roses, doesn't it? Really makes you just want to tell everyone close to you how much they mean to you, doesn't it? Really makes you question the whole meaning of your existence, doesn't it? Really makes you appreciate the laughter of a child, doesn't it? Really makes you hope you could see just one more sunset, doesn't it? Really makes you thankful for the simplest of pleasures, doesn't it? The smell of freshly baked bread, the sound of a bird's plaintive song, the sight of a black Labrador retriever catching a frisbee in her mouth." And I say, "Oh my God, will you shut the fuck up?" Assuming that, being a cancer patient myself, I could get away with telling another cancer patient to shut the fuck up. But apparently not, because this guy complains to a nurse, and then she calls over the bouncer. And he says, "Excuse me, is there a problem here? I understand that you're not putting things into perspective. Not appreciating the laughter of a child. Not hoping to see just one more sunset. I'd hate to have to ask you to leave." And I say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cancer Ward Bouncer. I didn't get the memo which said that because I have cancer, I'm expected to engage in gratuitous sentimentality. And that if I don't, people are going to start to get nervous and become confused and ask questions like, why isn't he using his defense mechanisms? Should I not begrudge people the extreme sentimentality in which they indulge in order to make things like cancer easier to deal with? Personally, I reject all that. I think it just trivializes it, Mr. Cancer Ward Bouncer. And there's nothing trivial about cancer. Trust me, I know." Thank you very much.
Kevin is next. So now you'll have to come back next month so you can hear the rest of Fallon's stories.
All right, this is not a poem, so sorry, but it is a short story. Cool. So yeah, I wrote this and I wanted to see if I could infect the people that heard it with a virus. So that's the purpose of this. It's about something that you see every day, so maybe it'll mean something to you. It's called Contagion. Self-driving cars killing 3 dogs and ruining a crime scene triggered his annoyance of technology, once a gnawing infection, to lurkingly multiply to the hijacked host's unwitting destruction. Surrounded by daylight and witnesses at Fisherman's Wharf, a hidden frustration whispered to deface the wall of some tourist trap with a bright red paint marker. Only the first letter was finished when an outraged man demanded that he leave. On Stockton Street was a crew of 20 skaters. One skated, really, the rest just guzzled and puffed. A 36-pack of Modelo's made him an honorary member of the crew. Rebellion ignited when one of them started to draw on a postal mail bin, and others joined in. The phrase of his maiden graffiti dripped bloody red, as his unseen exasperation hungered to bring more trouble than a little fucking paint. After hot tubbing, the outsider learned Don had been to prison for killing someone, actually. But in the hot tub, he resembled a Dionysian Adonis inviting the outsider to a threesome. His vengeful thirst was momentarily quenched when Don recommended a book about explosives. At the anarchist bookstore, the outsider asked if they had the anarchist cookbook. The guy behind the counter tried to dupe him into a later edition, which was basically the same, and with enough necessary scorn for that bookstore clerk and enough savoir-faire for the crowded store he was in, the outsider said, yeah, the one you told me to get is about making carrot stew, and I'm looking for the one about making explosives. At an independent bookstore in the Haight, he paid in cash and used a fake name to order a copy of the Anarchist Cookbook. He was invited to a dress code enforced, all black, Berghain-themed multi-story rave on Union Street. When a hooded man said, a driverless car just killed a woman in Arizona, the rage boiled in his stomach until simmering once the hood revealed a group of anarchists in the sunset were terrorizing the enemy vehicles. Over vodka in teacups, the guy who wrote the software for Cruise let it slip that the facial recognition software is so bad it confuses black people with gorillas. Still, wear masks and gloves. If you want to disable the car, throw a towel on top of the sensor. He struck into the night. Another fucking heap of robot-driven garbage pulled up to the light catty-corner to him on Polk Street. The venom commanding him to stand in the street after the walk sign ended was ignited by leaping flames of contempt when the car missed him by inches. The only sound in the sunset was falling leaves until a faint robotic hum grew louder. He tossed the heavy towel and watched the robot beast power down. Glass shot by his foot as the black-clad group heaved the car onto its side. Red spray paint dripped down the car emblazoned with his mark. Though it had never been closer, his detonated wrath craved complete annihilation. A nail-wrapped aluminum pipe filled with gunpowder flew through the sharded window and landed on the glass-covered seat of the droid devil on wheels. The pure fury he'd become distracted him from the road. He leapt across till he was shoeless, broken, and crimson. Turning to spit out a tooth, he saw what struck him was a cruise car. His pent-up fury overrode his momentary dying with a heaven-bound roar. If I die, who the fuck goes to jail for killing me?
Thank you, Kevin. Next up, get your pen. And then we have Brenn's next, followed by Helen Dannenberg, and then Charles Curtis Blackwell. Okay. So next up, Brenn.
All right, is it on?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. So this one's called Righteousness in the Digital Age. This is a hacker poem. I'm taking over your cerebral cortex. That means you, the unapproachable fortress. That means you, the isolated misanthrope. That means you, the long-lived tyrant of simple ideas. That means you, the firewalled and upgraded. That means you, the cutting edge who rush in front of all those that must come after. This is a poem of utter control. This is a poem of me insisting that you are listening. Knocked prone before a tide of radio waves and electrons, this is not a poem for anyone, but a poem from anyone that needs control. This is a poem that takes the lost and forgotten pieces of a perfect architecture and binds them to the growing, knowing energy that we can only title willpower. I'm taking on the authority, taking off the gloves. This is the prize bout, the final round of recoding. This is the institution of new hardware. This is something improbable and at the same time inescapable. This is a hacker poem. This is a poem about little egos. This is a consumption of debt and failure and the oil used to lubricate tiny gadgets. This is me making my way in a digital age that tried to supersede me and has not succeeded in belittling me. This is me at the microphone both hands free, spitting with a dope vocabulary. For this time and for all time, this is a hacker poem. This is the breaking of stone. This is the burning of unburnt wood. This is the taking of something that is not mine and was never meant to be mine, for the purpose of not having anything that I don't want. This is the giving up of pretension, the collapsing of the borders that others have built up. This is the traveling of your ideas. This is not the escaping of your futile prisons. This is a hacker poem. This is a poem that refuses to push where others push. Where others look at the world and see blinking lights, this poem sees a data stream, sends out its own set of data, and refuses to process the little tirades of problems that flicker across the past. This is an upgrade from what you were living for. This is a vindication of how hot you run and how cold you think it is out there. This is a hacker poem, and you have been hacked. I'm going to pass it off. Thanks.
Yeah, well, thank you. Get your pen down. Put your pen. Unfortunately, we're running a little bit.
No worries.
Thank you. Thank you. We're running a little bit behind as we always do. We have a few more. We have Helen Dannenberg. Is she still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. Helen is up next, followed by Charles Curtis Blackwell, Poetry Spoken, Inga, and David Blake. Anyone else who would like to read who hasn't signed up? Okay.
Oh, I didn't want to go over this.
Good to see you, Helen.
Is it on? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This I wrote this morning, and Sally, who had to leave, inspired it, though it has nothing to do with her. A little house on a little street, in a little neighborhood, in a big city. A brick front porch, a regular, corpulent, grumpy mailman, front porch neighbors on hot summer nights. Spring, maple and sycamore trees leafing out, winter snowflakes, eager, hopeful anticipation, will it stick? The roaming, rushing subway to the wider world. Then home to the familiar, to regroup, reassess, absorb. I am living close to the spirit of where I grew up, not in miles, in a little house on a little street, in a little neighborhood, in not quite so big a city. The squealing scream of the streetcar to the wider world. Let's talk. The morning, a sunny day. Yes, hello, so glad to see you. I love the way your rays look today, reaching from the back windows way back to the front hallway behind the steps. The wonderful shadows behind the big upside-down curve of the kitchen sink faucet. The snake hose lives there. I sit on the couch, feel your lovely warm presence. Stay longer than noon. When you leave to go further out to the garden, I get jealous. Stay with me. Don't go. I want to keep you. I know you must go on with your day. I am selfish, don't care. You go. My restlessness drives me out to find you. Ah, there you are. Let's talk.
Very, very short?
Yes.
Very short, okay.
Melvin. Two people met a long time ago, made a life, made two children, lived in a culture absorbed by the children. She is here now, then will be gone. The culture, many facets, interesting, she flourished, but wondered about the others. Went, explored. There existed another world out there. How to meld the two together. She is here now, then will be gone.
melding like the flour, water, and flavoring, like a bouquet of mixed flowers, like a box of assorted chocolates, like a bunch of different dogs, like the merging of entering bus passengers, like two souls connecting. She is here now, then will be gone. Thank you.
Charles Curtis Blackwell is up next.
So,
Take one, cover.
Thank
you.
I don't need that. I would.
Oh, you're gonna. All right.
Afterwards.
Yeah. All right. If they're not too long.
One.
Yeah, if they're not too long. If they're not too long, try to keep like
Just
3-4 minutes. 3-4 minutes. Whatever you can finish about 3-4 minutes.
Okay. Okay. I got a book that just came out. It's called The I and Us. It's Washington, D.C. before the days of gentrification. So, a sermon in action. Sunday is so deceiving to the blues. The blues of 7th Street. Fist flying and so sacred. Round 9 in the morning, before anger sets into the church house. Some birds chirp to the sky, blue sky. Church goers whisper about murder from the blacktop Saturday night. Saturday night anger. With stained breath and sweat from Friday night. They try to kill one another, and it's on Sunday. Becoming is. The world is, and the world ain't. Is a whole lot that ain't in between. And is so. Sometimes is ain't nothing. No time for pepper questions or colorful melodies. For the night is cold and there is no liquor to warm my soul. Cold wind rattling my bones, dinner plate bearing, no change to jingle, and home free. But give me some more ears. Chico Hamilton crossing the river, drumbeat rolls, sticks fly. Drumbeat rolls, sticks fly. Chico Hamilton, a man from two worlds. Drumbeat rolls, sticks fly. Drumbeat rolls, sticks fly. Roll on, drummer, roll on. As I make my bed in swollen, dry places. Pink, the color pink, rolls through my mind. Blink, blink, ding, pling, and a ding, class struggling, and in the real will I know runs elsewhere. This one's solo, straight, no chaser. And many with a hat on, running to bring him back on stage. Come on, monk, ruffle my brain, interrupt sleepless nights and long-awaited cries, distant moans and quiet sighs. His monk's elbow rested on the key. Another ding, another pling and a ding. Class struggling, and in the will I know, runs deeper, deeper than the soul can bear. A pebble of water set atop a sheet of glass trickled downward until it collided with another pebble of water and slid all the way down, down, down to the bottom of the window. Pain, pain, pain. Dew fell hard against this morning, this mournful morning, causing my train to run past the ghetto and the river's edge. Await time, I say, await. In so soon some sunny shadows, someone else is in pain, and it somehow allows me to be who I am. Monk, spinning around on stage. Monk, spinning around on stage. He was trying to be himself. The sun shines over there. The sun shines over the river in a fluke. That's it.
Already spoken is in Japan. Alright. Then you bring one.
I'm just gonna do 2 short pieces. But yes. This is called Darkness. What does it mean to make it when isms are at an all-time high and we, the marginalized, continue to celebrate the one black guy who has diversified your companies? You see, we have been trained to think that civil rights equals equity, but in practice, it's only theory as Congress strikes forward progress from anti-abortion to voter suppression and now affirmative action, and that buy-in is that one. That 1 in a million for the millions that will never shine, but nevertheless we are diamonds, so we celebrate. We celebrate a series of verses forward eradicates the past with accolades that after 400 years we are still counting on one hand. I am talking your first black president to the first black female Supreme Court justice, so let's not confuse history with justice, because while you celebrate 37 suppression bills carried over into Congress, and for a pipeline, it is now illegal to protest, and should I choose, my body can now be brought up on felony charges, when even death row has the right to choose their own process, when only 1% continues to fit inside those margins, and the rest are discarded, disregarded, disrespected, misrepresented, misunderstood, misused, disrespected, hell. We are missing, and we celebrate. We're like caricatures that when turned pages give the illusion that we are moving up, but we are stuck. We are the exact definition of what it means to be pimped in these here United States, where it's commonplace to be out walking, running, grabbing a bite to eat, playing hell. Nowadays we play and pray with both eyes open because we know somewhere a hero is loading up. But for those of us who not only demand justice and equity and believe in that contradictory word hope, we not only ask of our diamonds, what do you need in order to shine? All right, this one. This last piece right here is from my book, Cried Out Laughing. It's about my second great grandfather. If you have a chance, go to CNN and read up on Joshua Halsey, my second great grandfather. This is called Joshua's Tree. Ever since the day that you claimed that our knuckles scraped ground and we walked on all fours, we were still upright, you see. Amendments did not change nor legitimize legacies, so we broke bread like chains to tell our stories. Therefore, silence is foreign tongue. So all the trials, triumphs, and tribulations written in the blood of our ancestors were meant to be told. It is healing for our souls. See, I myself have strayed far from this past, but voices from the past whisper wisdom. They said, Elaine, even systems deep-rooted in oppression have vision. They'll spread the gospel of lies in history books like religion. And though unwritten, our voice has the power to transform and transcend generations when we lift them up. So teach them that 56% of the black race represented Wilmington under the era of Reconstruction, did away with the two-party system and created fusion.
Words like diversity and inclusion suddenly had a meaning in a port town that brought us over in slave ships where we fought like hell to control our own interests, open our own businesses, while white supremacists saw this as an act of violence, killed unarmed women, black men, women, and children, stormed the local governments. And those who couldn't leave hid in the pine cemetery where my ancestors dwell. And it was there that I heard the calling like music through the conch shells. I heard Grandpa Joshua. I heard Grandma Sally. Yes, I heard her. I heard my Grandma Juanita. Yes, I heard her. I heard my brother Vernon. Yes, I heard her. I heard my Aunt Annie. Yes, I heard him. I heard my uncles and aunts that have passed on. Yes, I heard you. But blessed to still be alive, the matriarch, my mother, Vintage Joe. As she cries, tell our stories. God bless.
Have a few more, but we have Inga and David, but I did see that we have Dee Allen in the house, and we have to, Dee Allen definitely is going to be reading. So Inga, David, and then Dee to close it out.
Hello, I'm no poet, but, so how many of you know what Ellis Act is? Some people. Let me refresh what it is. The Ellis Act is a state law which says that landlords have the conditional right to evict tenants to go out of business. Ellis Act evictions generally are used to change the use of the building. Most Ellis evictions are used to convert rental units to condominium rooms using loopholes in the condo law. So, anyone also knows Mr. Diego De Leo, our local poet?
Oh yeah, Diego De Leo, yes.
Diego De Leo, yeah. So, most delightful person, 81 years old. He lives here in San Francisco, and, you know, frankly, we here in Clarion, at least I'm talking for myself, love him a lot. It's a great person, just the most delightful human being I've, had the honor of meeting. And what he does is he walks around North Beach or wherever he happened to be, and he gives people these poems. It's, I think, the sweetest gesture a poet can do to a non-poet, just kind of give them a little bit of poetry to cheer the day up. So that's how we met. I met Diego at North Beach. So we had the most delightful talk, and he gave me a poem that I'm going to read today. And the Ellis Act, just keep that in mind, because I will say something about it. It's called Forever by Diego De Leo. The sun will shine, the clouds will roll, sea waves will dance, rain will fall, spring flowers will bloom, winds will blow, rivers will flow, nightingales will sing, rain or shine, love is forever. Very. And unfortunately, Diego is not here today, but what I want to say about the Ellis Act is that last thing I heard, Diego is being evicted due to Ellis law from his place where he lived for 30 years. And I think it's a crime shame that it is allowed to happen. And his court date, court hearing on the case will be August 22nd, which is 3 days away. Just, if you'll see him, if whoever knows him, just if you see him on the street, say that you're with him, and send him your prayers from your hearts. And that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
I get one, finally.
David, and then Dee. We'll close it out. Thank you all for staying late and
I've noticed I also am not a poet, but I translate German poetry, and this is a short poem from Günter Grass, the writer and poet who wrote Tin Drum, Cat and Mouse, lots of famous stuff in Germany that made that. This is called Careful. Nuns indulge themselves in a stroll on the beach, holding in their washed hands black umbrellas to keep the heat from burning their simplicity. Their little feet step on clams and oysters so that there'll be no ears in case Agnes, the novice, speaks impulsively, which happens often.
All right, and we'll close out the afternoon. One. And we'll close out the afternoon with D. Allen.
It's been years, Greg. Good to see you again. 2 poems within 5 minutes. Both poems happen to come from my 6th book, Rusty Gallows, Passages Against Hate. And I'm going to start out with the title poem. Being black shouldn't be a death sentence. Rusty Gallows. Reddish-brown corrosion covers the whole goddamn structure like a filthy blanket. With so much widespread decay, this old tarnished bridge should collapse from crashing waters many floods ago. By some fluke of nature, unscathed by time, it still stands above the muddy Chickasaw River in Shabuta, Mississippi. Once a passageway to a long-forgotten Clark County destination, twice an implement of execution like an iron crucifix. This is you, skull and crossbones etched on the bridge's base, cryptic warning meant for anyone unlucky enough to cross it and the invisible line away from their place. Between both world wars, unspecified parties. Now, let's rephrase that. Haters strung up 4 boys, 2 girls, both pregnant, young, Negro, and guilty of nothing, hung from knotted ropes, tied to rusty girders over the coursing river like 6 black flags sailing in the gentle southern wind. And that was the title poem to my 6th book, Rusty Gallows, Passages Against Hate, inspired by the nonfiction book, Hanging Bridge, by Jason Morgan Wood. And unfortunately, that bridge is still standing today, albeit in a corroded, dilapidated state. It is one of the last vestiges of old American South racism still standing, while memorials to racist figures and acts have been torn down around the world back in 2020. Hopefully this poem of mine will bring attention to that bridge and lead to its dismantling. And the last poem is Moment of Positive Tale, from the same book. And it's also deeply personal. It is one of 2 attempts in the book at something called expressive writing, also known as free writing. From pages 77 and 78 in the book, this is called Out Front. I am grateful for the arched roof above my head, the twin rafters with the twin lights holding it in place, the faux walls surrounding me, the 2 windows with the 2 Venetian blinds, down and shut at all times, the red brick floor below my feet, the 2 wooden shelves full of books and movies, the VHS by themselves, and DVDs in clear totes. The Kita mattress I sleep on, the melatonin that helps me sleep. The vegan food in my fridge, a meat-free zone. The fruit and vegetable juices I savor. The filtered water I drink mowed in tap shit. The hard-cover journal notebooks and the roller point pens I use to express myself. The shower I use, even though I'm a bathtub man. The Hewlett-Packard laptop computer aiding creation of the once and future poetry volumes, like the one in my hands. The Samsung TV and VCR DVD player combo, the little house in East Oakland I call home. The vast collection of political slogan t-shirts. I wear the convictions of my heart on my chest. Sometimes antisocial, always anti-racist, remains a personal favorite, along with, sure, you can trust the government. Just ask an Indian. But being black is not a crime, gets me the most love on the street. But most of all, I am grateful for the bus drivers, the firefighters, the restaurant delivery drivers, the subway train conductors, the laundrette clerks, the grocery store workers, the farmers market workers, which I happen to be one of. The doctors, the nurses, the paramedics, the pharmacy workers, the protesters for the rights of all black lives, the dead and the living, the mutual aid collectives giving food, water, medicine, and household items to the people living hand to mouth during this goddamn pandemic and long before. All the heroes out front in our service, seeing to our immediate survival needs. They could use the praise. And you don't need superpowers to be a hero. Just be there, out front, for us. That last poem was called Out Front, which was half of it was me being thankful for all the little things in my own personal life, and the other half giving a big shout out to all those service workers. And I just named them during the second half of the poem. Everybody from doctors and nurses to grocery store workers and farmers market workers like myself. All the unsung heroes during this pandemic and during its current winding down stages. And both poems happen to come from my sixth book, Rusty Gallows, Passages Against Hate. Still available from Vagabond Books, from Miss Mike to Yo Ayers on Diablo. Thanks for listening.
You get a pen. Well, thank you all. Thanks for staying. I know we ran late this month, but please come back next month. It will be September 16th, I believe, and our poets will be Alan Harris and Shadab Hashmi, who is a Pakistani poet. So please come out next month. Thank you all for coming. Thank our two features this afternoon, Karen Poppy, and Tony Aldarondo. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks for me. You gonna be here?
Yeah. Take my mask off.
Oh, good, good. Thank you. All right.
One flower to the middle. He told me to
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Yeah, of course.
Well, thank you. Okay, so you're going to be on for...
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a family reunion.
Thanks, take care.
Yeah.
Come all the way from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Finally got out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now I know what it is.
Like to work in any of my magazines. So they got yeah, my name's Sasha.
You know the algorithm. So I don't know. Like every time you get out, say, hey, yo, you know, I didn't even see that. And I did not see it. And so I was like, yeah, I'm coming.
My buddy Steve.
You know, I'm coming.